Hello and welcome to another Chelsea chat. And yesterday at Stamford Bridge, it was Chelsea 4, Leicester City 2. And we are in the semi-finals of the FA Cup for the zillionth time in the last zillion years, it seems. We always do well in this competition, apart from last year when City knocked us out in the third round, I think it was. And we've got City again in the semi-final. And people are writing us off. But I always say, you know what, with Chelsea, you never can tell. When we're at our lowest, we'll pull one out of the bag. And when we're flying high, we'll crash to the ground for no apparent reason. So, looking forward to that. Yesterday, there's a few things I've got to say. I've got to say a few bits about this Potch Out brigade. I've also got to say a few bits about Potch himself, and obviously we've got to talk about Sterling. So yesterday we started off with Sanchez in goal, Malagustu at right back. Inside him we had Disaster. Inside him we had Trevor Chalobah, and on the left hand side we had Marc Cucurella. Just in front of them, because Enzo Fernandez was suspended, we had Caicedo to the right and Gallagher staying deep to the left. In front of them, we had Sterling on the left. We had Mudryk playing more in the middle, really, as a sort of 10. And we had Cole Palmer out on the right. Up front, we had Nicholas Jackson. I'll be honest, Leicester City didn't really look very much. I didn't think much of Leeds. I thought we made it hard work, and we made it hard work again yesterday. First half yesterday, we played at a decent tempo. We worked hard. There's players there that are clearly improving, like Nicholas Jackson. And I didn't think it was too bad at all, with the odd exception. So we took the lead. Nicholas Jackson does very well on the right, puts a ball across, and there's Marc Cucurella just to stick in an easy finish from about 2 or 3 yards. I say easy finish, Timo Werner would have skied it. And then just before half-time, Raheem Sterling, who'd been absolutely useless. In fact, he's that useless that the word hasn't been invented yet to describe how bad he was. He missed a penalty that he shouldn't have been taking anyway, because Cole Palmer should have been taking it. Apparently, Pochettino's all right with that, though. He'd actually stopped a shot going in from his own player. He just run into players for fun. Don't know what he was thinking of. Didn't look like he was thinking of going round them. It just looks like he thinks he can run straight through them. He was in a position where he could have passed to Cole Palmer, and he didn't. He had a one-on-one, just lifted it over the keeper round the side of the goal when I think it was easier to score, to be honest. And he was just dire. Anyway, he had a moment of energy. He had a moment of quality. This one moment that we've got to cling on to if we're in the Raheem Sterling fan club. A burst of pace, puts a ball across, and a lovely finish by Cole Palmer, who'd run probably 30 yards to get in front of a defender at the front post. 2-0 up at half-time. Happy days. Second half, we're going to be able to bring some of the kids on, rest some of these lads. That's not Chelsea way, though, is it? Second half starts. And what's the golden rule when you're being coached as a 10-year-old, whether it's at a professional club, whether it's at a boys' club, or girls' club, you ladies watching, whether it's up the park, whether it's a Sunday league side? What do they always say? They say if you're passing back to your goalkeeper, pass it wide of the goal, just in case he misses it, just in case he falls over. Always pass it wide of the goal. Dizazi thinks to himself, we've got the most unconvincing goalkeeper in the league back there. I'm going to sky this. Now, you would have thought before you pass back, you have a little look up. Disaster don't need to. Sanchez is off his line. I don't know why he's where he is. And perhaps the little excuse that Disaster's got is maybe, I didn't look up because I was under pressure and I didn't think he'd be where he was. But even so, if you don't know where he is, you make sure that's going wide. Kick it out for a corner if you need to, but don't. Don't pass it back straight at that goal. Disaster did, and and that's it. Now, I'm sorry. Sanchez has been out for a long time, so I'll give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but he was awful yesterday. He looks, and he all season, when he's kicking that ball, then he got caught out again yesterday with it at his feet. He looks a bag of nerves. And Dizazi, he's had 3 good games this season. How many games he played? He's a 26-year-old French international that hasn't got it into his thick head yet that when you pass back to a goalkeeper, you pass it wide of the goal. Someone should take him down to a primary school on Monday morning and get them to coach him about when you're passing back to your goalkeeper. Never be Chelsea quality as long as he's got a hole in his bum. But not his fault. He don't pick the team. He just gives his best. And his best, more times than not, isn't good enough. A few minutes later, a good finish, by the way. I can't remember the bloke's name now. McVeedy or something, I don't know. But a good shot. Now, who was going back with him? I think it was Gusto. If you're being hypercritical, not really, no. If you're wanting Chelsea to play like they used to play in the days where we had Carvalho, Terry and Makelele would have come across and he would have made it like a double obstacle for that guy who shot. But we're not there. So the guy gets round Gusto, shoots, great finish. Not blaming Sanchez for that. It was just a good finish. So we're 2-2. And to be honest, Leicester are now a better side than us. They've got their tails up and they're going for it. Sterling is still absolutely pants. They then get a man sent off. 100%. We thought it was a penalty. In fact, in that sort of situation, it should still be a penalty. I don't agree that giving a free kick and sending a man off, we're talking inches that they're using VAR for. Obvious decision. I think morally that should have been a penalty anyway. Not just because it's us, but in that type of situation, that should be down to the ref on the pitch. That's not a outrageous decision by any means. And that would have kept them having a player on the pitch and it would have kept us with a penalty, which hopefully Cole Palmer would have took. So we've got this free kick outside the area. It's saying to Cole Palmer, please hit me. Well, Sterling, he hits it and that must have frost on it by that time that comes down from the heavens. It's got to have. So we decide to make a substitution. And who do we take off? The guy who's been a bit of a live wire all afternoon. He's been in and out of the game, like I think he always will be. But you know what? He causes them problem. That was Mudryk. I didn't think he had a bad game yesterday. I think he looked dangerous. We leave Pochettino, leaves Sterling on the pitch and brings... Was it Chukwuemeka that came on then? Yeah, I think it was. He brings Chukwuemeka on for Mudryk. What's wrong with him? What is wrong with him? Now, I said when I saw Sterling in the team that Sterling must have pictures of Pochettino with a rent boy. But after seeing that decision, where Sterling stayed on that pitch and Pochettino took Mudryk off instead, I think there must be dogs, cats and maybe a goldfish involved as well in these photographs. And then for Pochettino to sit in the press conference and say, well, we saw that Michaela looked tired. He might have looked tired. Sterling looked stone dead. Anyway, cut a long story short, a great bit of play by Carney Chukwuemeka. We've only got, a couple of minutes left. Gives the ball to Cole Palmer. Nice little back flick between two of their defenders. And Chukwuemeka finishes it off brilliantly. 3-2. And right at the death, Madueke, who came on, hadn't done a lot, but what a glorious finish. Nice bit of skill, one foot to the other. Great goal. Now people are saying, oh, why didn't he start? Trouble is, when Madueke has started, more often than not, he's been pants. It's when he's coming on as a sub, he's made an impact. But he has had time to start, but he don't really cut the mustard, does he? Then we want him dropped, and as soon as he comes on does something like that, we want him back in the side. We are fickle as a fan base, aren't we? I'm probably fickle myself, but have a bit of consistency. He has had the chances, Madueke, but he's done nothing when he plays a full game. And there's people saying, "Oh, well, Poch made 2 good substitutions that worked." Look at the bench. Who else could he bring on? He brought Chilwell on as well. Chilwell looked good when he came on. But who else could he have brought on? If you're going to make any sort of change. I felt a bit sorry for Cassidy yesterday because he was cup-tied, wasn't he? That'd be a perfect time to give him a run out next to Caicedo because I think he'd do a real good job. So, let's just score these, shall we? Sanchez gets a 3. Nearly got caught out. What he was doing on the goal, I don't know. I mean, I've absolutely pants. Comes for ball in the 6-yard area, don't get anywhere near him. He has been out a long time. He has been out of practice. I don't know what to say. And then he goes and gives Disaster a kiss. Can't get my head around it all. Anyway, he gets a 3. Malo Gusto is my Chelsea man of the match. He just edges out Cole Palmer and he gets a 9. I thought he was absolutely superb yesterday. Defensively, offensively, just a real good all-round performance. And Reece James is going to have a real job getting back in the team at right back anyway. And I know Reece James is world class when he's in the side, but this young lad, 20 years old, he's the real deal. Inside them, Disaster. Disaster gets a 3. I'm sorry, I have tried, and he has had 2 or 3 decent games, but he's not Chelsea quality. He hasn't got the concentration. 26 years old. He's not a kid. He's a French international, and out of position too often. Under pressure, he crumbles too often. Sorry, not for me. Not if we're going to get back to where we were. It'd be great next to Mickey Droy. No problem with that. Stick him in the side. Mickey will teach him a thing or 2 as well. Next to Disaster, we got Trevor Chalobah. He went about his business quietly yesterday. No real mistakes. I thought he'd done all right. 6.5. Over on the left, we get a 7 for Marco Correa. Thought he played really well. Scored a goal. He's never going to be an Ashley Cole. When I think of the 60-odd million quid we paid for him, it makes me want to cry, if I'm honest. He's a decent Premier League footballer. A decent mid-table Premier League footballer, in my humble opinion. But I'll tell you what the lad gives. 100%. Puts a proper shift in. Yesterday was no different. His attitude grows on me. 7. In front of them, Conor Gallagher looked out of place yesterday in that totally defensive role. You could see he was itching to get forward. Did okay though in the absence of Enzo and not having Cassidy available, and he's going to get a 6.5. Caicedo gets a 6.5. Puts loads of good tackles in, wins back possession, but also gives it away cheap on occasions. Maybe only 2 or 3 times during a game. But that's 2 or 3 times during a game that a prime N'Golo Kante or Claude Makelele wouldn't have given it away. Tell you what else he does. He gets on the wrong side of his man to tackle. So he's giving away needless free kicks. And when it's on the edge of our area, that ain't funny from your main defensive midfield player. In front of them, we have Cole Palmer, who gets an 8.75, almost a 9. I thought it was absolutely superb yesterday. And also people don't realise the amount of work that he puts in getting back defensively, as well as his brilliant offensive talent. Got his goal, could have got another one. Great save actually by the keeper. And good performance. In the middle, Mudryk gets a 7. I thought he looked dangerous in flashes. I think that's going to be his position until he gets used to the Premier League. He scares them to death with that pace, doesn't he? I think it was Fancast TV. Check them out, by the way. Chelsea Fancast. Check them out, their podcast. But I think he said he runs around like his old man's on fire, and yeah, he does. But he done all right yesterday. Raheem Sterling gets a 2. Pochettino said, "Oh, he's got a good CV." He's not doing it, is he? He's got a good CV. What does that mean? I thought it was a meritocracy. I thought if you were doing well, you got in that side. He's absolutely pants. I don't think it's his confidence that's shot to bits. I think it's his decision making. Perhaps he's earned enough money. But I tell you what, when he goes in and picks up that 350 grand a week, I'd be embarrassed. I bet he lights up the place. He's got to go. He's got to go red, surely. He's got to be like a Belisha Beacon. I couldn't go and pick him up. If I was Sterling, I couldn't pick them wages up. I'd feel absolutely embarrassed. People saying, "Oh, well, he got booed." And I don't agree with any player getting booed, don't get me wrong. I don't agree during that 90 minutes with any Chelsea player getting booed. And to his credit, bit of class, he clapped them even though they were booing him. And a few of them obviously thought to themselves, what are we doing? Booing a player when he's coming off. And they started clapping. I don't think that's support if you're booing them, but you know what it's like nowadays. "I paid me money, I can do what I want." Yeah, all right then. Good supporter. I'll get thrown at me then, "Well, you didn't go." No, I didn't, but I've been plenty of times in the past. And guess what I've never done? Booed. Nicholas Jackson gets a 7.5. I thought it was a real live wire. He looks like he's really improving. He looks like he's learning. And yesterday, he looked across the line. I watched him do it. I was so proud of him. I felt like a dad watching their son recognise offside for the first time. And it probably was the first time he's recognised offside. And I was there. I was glad that I was there to be a part of it. Well done, you. And what a ball across for Cucurella. He was a thorn in their side all afternoon. He held the ball up well. I shouted at the telly once when he held it up and passed it back 70 yards to our goalkeeper. I was a bit peed off about that. But apart from that, well done, Nicholas Jackson. You really seem... Your figures are good, but now your performances are matching your figures. I don't score subs as a rule, but Chukwuemeka looked really good when he come on. Really, really good. It looked like he would have got a 7.58-ish if he stayed on that pitch for longer. And the others looked good as well. Madueke, what a goal. He would have got 5 off me just for the goal. So he was looking at a 7.5 or 8. Potch yesterday. Do you know what? I am going to give Potch a 5. And the only reason he's getting a 5 is because we won. We won and we've lost, 1 in 8 now? So even though I think we're playing pants, although we're having a few lovely little touches between 2 or 3 players, I think Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Gallagher and Gusto are getting a nice little chemistry between them. Potch gets a 5. We won. We're in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. I can't trust him because anyone that picks Sterling over anyone that isn't dead and in the ground only deserves the smallest of marks. What Sterling's got on him, I just don't know. He's got to have something on him. I can't believe a professional football manager looks at that and says, that's good enough. And it's not just a one-off, is it? It's not just a one-off. It happens virtually every week now. His pants. Oh, he's not got in the England squad. Not got in the England squad. He wouldn't get in the Greater London side at the moment. Shocking. And to have the cheek to bring someone else off instead of Sterling. And then say, oh, well, trust in me. No. Now, am I Potch out? No, I'm not. What's the point? What is the point? We've been told that they can't afford to sack him and his staff this season because of financial fair play. We've been told that he's got the backing of the board. So what is the point? I went on Facebook this morning. People, Who shall we get in? Oh, I'm not happy with Potch. I'm not happy with Potch, but he's not going anywhere. So let's just get behind him as much as we can. Yeah, I'm not going to paper over the cracks. I'm not going to paint him to be this great coach. But I do genuinely believe he's doing his best. And I suppose at the end of the day, that's all you can do. Now, whether his best is good enough, I think I can take a guess at. But when I see decisions like that, it's not just me, it's not my opinion, I don't think. I think the consensus is that Sterling should have left that pitch. I'm sorry, Potch, there's a few things, obviously the Tottenham connection, but the fact that before we played Tottenham, you're sitting there saying how you'd like to manage them again one day. I don't think that's great to endear our fans to you. The fact that you never go over to the away end and clap them when they've travelled all them miles, and the fact that you'll sit there and say, trust me, I know what I'm doing, when it doesn't look like you do. I'm sorry, I don't trust you. But I'm not going to keep going on about it. You are what you are, and you know what? During that 90 minutes, you got to support those Blues, and you got to support him, really. He's part of the package, isn't he? That's all I've got to say, I think. It is. Let me know what you think. I'm really interested to hear all your thoughts this week. Sorry it's a little bit late. I haven't been that well, and getting better though by the day. And thanks for those that have asked. Oh yeah, the other thing I got, people saying, "Oh, way we're playing, I don't even bother watching anymore." That's not a Chelsea supporter, is it? Oh, the way we're playing makes me feel so down. Makes me feel so down. I can't get up on a Monday morning all excited like I used to. Sounds like Harold Steptoe. You can hear him saying that. Well, go support a successful side then. You know, I don't know what they want you to say to them. And if you say that to them, you just get abuse. I don't know what they want. I don't know what they want you to say. Oh yeah, I've been really depressed too. With all that's going on in the world, the fact that we've only won 4-2 in the FA Cup against Leicester, I've been so down. There you go. Happy days. Right, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching another Chelsea chat, and I shall speak to you after the international break. It is now, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I hate international breaks. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and throw the video a like. Up to Chelsea.